Shemai and Croeso to the latest FC CYMRU, and we're here in Margam on a beautiful August morning. Listen, I'm with them there, and John. First of all, we are, for this episode, going to be following you and your incredible journey that you've been on this week. For everyone on FC CYMRU, just first of all, tell us exactly why you're doing this walk from Wrexham all the way down to Swansea.com stadium, and why you're doing it and how it came about.
Yeah, well, two reasons. I run inclusion football in Margam, and the numbers are really progressing now. We've got over 80 registered players, and what we wanted to do, my first aim is, I don't think there's enough football for children with disabilities in Wales, in the UK, to be honest with you. So I wanted to raise awareness, and to raise awareness we thought, how can we challenge ourselves like the children challenge themselves on a daily basis? So we decided to start at Wrexham, do all the Welsh League clubs basically, so Wrexham, Newport, Cardiff and Swansea. But the route we took, we managed to get in as well Shrewsbury and Hereford, and people who know the Welsh football history used to actually play in the Welsh Cup as well. So yeah, so we wanted to do that to raise awareness, and also because the children with disabilities have sensory issues, and in weather like this sometimes can't play outdoors, we need a big indoor area because the numbers are so high. So we want to raise money to have a nice indoor area so every child gets the opportunity to play football.
We better let you go. Are you all feeling fit, lads? Are you all ready to go and do it?
Absolutely fine.
Not feeling fit.
Couldn't be further from fit, to be honest.
Well, listen, we better let them get on their walk. Taking you back to the Cardiff City Stadium now, because one of the guys you met yesterday was Chris Foote. Chris has been the driving force behind a sensory room which has been developed at the Cardiff City Stadium. It's there for hire during Wales internationals. So we're going to find out a little bit more about it and let these fine gentlemen start their walk, and we'll catch up with you on the walk, chaps. So good luck, guys. All the best, all the best. Let's go and check out the sensory room at the Cardiff City Stadium.
The sensory room is a room within Cardiff City Stadium. It's here and has been developed over a number of years now, and it's a space where people with sensory issues can come and hopefully enjoy a football match without becoming overwhelmed by the busy, loud environment that a football stadium is on a match day. So the room is fairly well kitted out now, and we've been, as a charitable organisation that's linked with the Premier League Charitable Fund, we've been fortunate enough to tap into a variety of funding in order to put in some really impressive equipment in here. So we've got a ceiling projector which plays games onto our floor in here. We've got an interactive lighting rig, and we've got a number of other sort of sensory, stimulating and calming gadgets which serve people with sensory issues and help to reassure them and give them a bit of a space where they can sort of retreat from some of the noise and busyness if they need to.
An opportunity to some children who do need a quiet space to go during the game. Sometimes if they can't cope with the noise or certain atmospheres, it just opens football up to everyone really, for it to be inclusive.
My boy Roman's taken to it straight away. He's just fascinated by it all, and obviously with the loud noises out there, it's great for him to have a bit of an escape to go in there and do what he wants to do. It's ideal because it's keeping him very distracted at the minute.
Loads of clubs in the area have been really supportive of what we're doing, and I think the children need to have their story told really. You know, just because they have autism, ADHD, cerebral palsy, and other disabilities doesn't mean they can't play football. You know, they can run and kick a ball as good as anyone else. So I don't see why there is a split between mainstream and disabilities, because just because they've got these additional needs doesn't mean they can't play football.
There we go, fantastic work from everyone down there at Cardiff City. And if you want to get in touch with them about the sensory room, and if you've got a group that you would like to take there, then do get in touch with Chris Foote. We will send the details on the screen somewhere along here, so you can check those out. But John, I think just turn to yourself for a second. First part of the walk completed this morning, but that sort of sensory room shows how important football can be in giving these kids just amazing opportunities and moments and spaces.
Sensory rooms are long overdue, because these children, they want to see their sport, especially football, loud crowds and everything, so sometimes they need a little bit of time out because it can get overwhelming for them. And that's one of the things we're looking at doing at Margam, is when they play football, we're looking at sensory room ourselves, just for the ones who are playing football as well. So it's so important.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, look, we came to visit you in January to see what the place was like and check out what you guys were up to and your plans for the future. And tell us exactly why it's so important that you're doing this walk and raising this money.
Well, like I said earlier, to children, there's loads of sensory issues, and when we days like this, half of them won't play football because of the rain, because of the wind, because of the cold, and we need that facility so that whatever the weather, these children can play all the time. It's so important, because otherwise, we're saying it's inclusive, but if they can't attend because of the conditions, we're not really inclusive, I don't think. These children love football. They can tell you different things about certain players, they can tell you tactics and everything, and they want to play. But sometimes society is not the best, and they can be bullied. Just because they aren't up to speed with the other team or the other team members in general sport, then they can feel left out, a bit down, low self-esteem then. So we want to build them up and say everything they do is their ability, not their disability and their challenges, and respect them for who they are.
Well, listen, there's a Just Giving page as well, isn't there, that you're raising money for, and we'll have that on the screen throughout. So yeah, if you are able to donate anything, then it's gratefully received. Listen, one man who's been doing the walk this year. So did you go all the way to Wrexham? Did you start there?
Yeah, we started from Wrexham, Shrewsbury, Hereford, I think it was, and then Newport, Cardiff, then Swansea City.
That is incredible. And how's your leg doing? Are your legs okay? Are they holding up?
No, they're shattered.
They're absolutely shattered. I'm not surprised you're going to make it to the Swansea.com stadium though? You are, yeah.
Maybe.
Well, stay tuned to find out whether it did or not. Listen, we're going to have a little change of tack now, because there was the coaching conference a little bit earlier this year, and there we saw a real link up between some of the elite coaches that come and do the FAW courses and our coaches here in the domestic game. So let's go meet Tim and Steve.
Welcoming 350 coaches here to a live event for the first time in a few years, which is really exciting. And we've got 100 people online doing it on an international model, which is fantastic to have such a widespread, I suppose, family of coaches watching this conference, both virtual and obviously at a live event. Always trying to bring in high-profile coaches like Tim Cahill and Yaya Toure and obviously Roberto Martinez and all the various alumni we've had from the very top end of the game. But what's nice is these people have got great humility and they interact and connect with coaches in Wales, and that's really important to us. We bring them here really to try and make sure we can develop our coaches in Wales as well. So having people mixing like Tim Cahill, say, and Steve Evans, for example, who works in our domestic league, it's really important because they can both, I suppose, learn from each other. But also our Welsh coaches can obviously be inspired and learn from people who've played at the highest level and playing under some top managers. So that's kind of what we're trying to do by bringing in these various people from various backgrounds, is try and connect people and build lasting relationships.
Tim, Steve, you've both completed your UEFA A licence here in Wales. Could you just tell us, first of all, Steve, a little bit about this weekend and what it entails?
This weekend, it just sums the FAW up. It's fantastic, the facilities, and the content more so. For me and Tim, we've just been on the pro together, and it's first class.
Absolutely. And Tim, a lot of us, including myself, best remember you for scoring a heck of a lot of headers in the Premier League, but coaching, was that something you always wanted to go into?
Yeah, I think for me, it was important to understand the game, the broader levels of you know, being on the pitch and understanding the distances and cones and all these elements that you don't think of when you're playing. Also the human element of how to, you know, work with people and build relationships, and I'm really enjoying it, and I'm thankful to the FAW because they really did expose us to a lot of good mentors, the bigger picture about the game, and also some of the activities around that you can learn so much about the game and about yourself as an individual. So it's been an amazing process for me. I think what's good, you build strong bonds and friendships, and there are moments where we'd call each other and say, you present to me, I present to you, and then we'll critique each other on what can be better and what was good and all these sorts of stuff. And I think it's good having those sort of relationships because you see each other evolve.
Absolutely, and Steve, Tim touched upon it there about having those relationships, but also vastly different backgrounds coming together as well, and how you can share your expertise in different areas.
Yeah, definitely. I think Tim touched on it earlier about when you're a player you think you know everything, but then you have to reset and you become a coach, and then you realise you don't know everything, and everybody's got different ideas, you know, and it's about bringing them ideas to the table and being open. That's the big thing, being open to, I haven't got all the answers, you know, there's more ways to get around the corner, and this environment, you know, when you're sitting down with the likes of Tim, Cale, Zhao, Mark Hudson, you know, and having them conversations and the experiences they've been through, and being able to tap into that, you know, as coaches and as managers, we're all thieves, and being able to take little bits from each other and say, yeah, I like that, that'll work, you know, and then ultimately delivering it in as yourself. I think it's fantastic.
We're trying to grow the game, obviously increase participation, we're trying to improve our domestic landscape, we're trying to improve our national teams. I think these events basically connect all those people together, so it's really important that we try and inspire coaches, and these sort of events, obviously they're there to educate coaches, but also there to inspire coaches to get involved and to support our players in the future.
And so, by the magic of leg power and a car, these boys have managed to make it to Swansea. We're just by the Tarry. Swansea Insight, gentlemen. How do you feel? It's so close.
No, great, mate. Like I say, it's been a long week. I think we've really enjoyed, albeit the a bit of pain now. I think when we look back and reflect on it, I think we've all really enjoyed it. It's been a great experience.
Yeah. What's got you through it? Like, how have you managed to kind of push yourself through that pain bar?
Oh, just think of the kids, what are they going through, and what are we doing it for, everything, and all the support we're getting from the people back in Talbot is brilliant. I
think we've been blown away by that really this week, haven't we? I think it's really captured the imagination as the week's gone by. We've been getting more and more messages on a daily basis. Obviously the Just Giving part has been increasing as well, and I think a combination of all of that has really sort of spurred us on, isn't it? But you know, just the camaraderie amongst ourselves as well. You know, there's people on the trip who I've never really spoken to before, and we just formed a, like I say, a really good bond as the week's gone by. So no, I'll take a lot away from this week. I really enjoyed.
And you're obviously to do with the first team at Margam, so from there to the inclusion, it feels like one club at the moment.
100%, and I think that's what one of the principles that we're trying to integrate into Margam Football Club now is that we've kind of operated in silo sections over the years, but I think what the inclusion section has done is sort of really captured the imagination, and actually we've got a bit of a niche in terms of being the only inclusion club around the South Wales area to become a bit of a driving force. But like I said before, you know, it's about sharing our learning and with other football clubs in the community as well. So yeah, definitely yes.
Yeah, like some of the other clubs looking at us and what we're doing, see if probably they can do the same. But yeah, what we're doing is brilliant.
Oh, it is absolutely fantastic. And tell us about John. What's he like? He's a driving force behind it, and he's.
Do you want the truth or not? No,
don't go camping with him at all.
No, I think, like I say, you know, this is all spurred off. You know, everything that we've talked about today is spurred off an idea that John has had. You know, he's become a real driving force really to get inclusion set up and running. Like I say, to go from what we started at with sort of 3 to 6 people, I think, in the first couple of sessions to see what it's become now. as someone who's been involved in the club for a number of years, it just makes you feel really proud. I genuinely feels like we're just getting started. I think there's so much more scope to grow and help so many other children and people as well. So,
And he's brought you in coaching wise, hasn't he? And sort of changed your Saturday mornings forever.
Yeah, he has. I came down one Saturday and it was just see the smiles on the kids' faces, and what he does for them is outstanding. Can't take my hat off to him. But the kids absolutely love it. Like that one Saturday, I just loved it, and every Saturday now, I even changed my shift pattern just to have Saturdays off. So yeah.
You know what it was, mate? We dropped him from the senior squad, so we had to find another role for him.
The secret is out.
Found a niche in the kid.
Well, listen, Chaz, you are so close to the finishing line, so I won't take up any more of your time. We know everybody here is ready to cross the finishing line at the Swansea.com stadium and go and see the match and finally put your feet up and maybe have a beer or two. But there's a big game for Wales women coming up in September. Go get your tickets. Let's go and meet Gemma Grainger and find out about her first year or so as manager of Wales.
One of the biggest reasons I came here was the strategy and the commitment to growing the women's game at a national team level, but also at the grassroots level as well, and the impact that we can make as a team. For me personally, I'm an ambassador of women's football. I want women's football to be continually growing, for women to be role models, whether that is coaches, referees and players. So the alignment of the FAW and their strategy with my values as a person and as a coach really was the thing that attracted me to this position. But that positivity around all of those things really has been evident for me in the last 16 months. It's been a whirlwind, to be fair. In those 16 months, the amount of games we've played, that's been the most successful and most positive part of the role in terms of the exposure that we've had as a team. Every friendly game we've played in those 16 months has been against a higher ranked opposition, and I think the mentality for us is what we've been wanting to challenge ourselves with. We've wanted to build on the foundations that were here when I came into the role, which were real strong foundations, and I think the games have given us an opportunity to build on our identity, and I think that identity is becoming stronger and stronger. For me, I do love coaching a 6-year-old as much as I love coaching a senior international, because I love helping people to enjoy themselves. But the game that I love, it's almost you pass that on to them, and you can see what football does. It is a vehicle for lifelong happiness in terms of their love for the sport, whether you play the sport, whether you follow the sport. And I think that's something that I feel really privileged to do, and that's why I love working with young kids, because their enthusiasm, I have an opportunity to help them fall in love with the game that I fell in love with at that age, and it's a privilege to be able to be in that position. The fans and the impact they have on the team is incredible. What they do to us as a team, they really do help us to be successful. We're starting to see familiar faces at every game. They know all of the players, they're shouting the players' names, they've got favourite players, and really that means as much to us as winning games. I would never want them to underestimate the impact they have on the team. The impact when we walk out and you feel them, it's something special. We've been away to grounds, and I've certainly felt not being at home. So when we do bring teams here, and we want to do that in September, for us the Slovenia game at home, we want to break the record again. We want the fans to be right behind us, because they will be a big part of our success. For us, success is qualification to a major tournament, but it's also getting the best out of these players, and as well as the on-the-pitch work, we've spent a lot of time focusing on our higher purpose, which is, for them, for us, for her, and we want to make sure that we do inspire the next generation. We are visible. We have so much responsibility in the team. We embrace that responsibility, and I think we're all proud of the work that we've done both on and off the pitch today.
And there you go. John, you've done it.
We've done it. Yeah,
Well done, mate.
yeah, really tired. Really good welcome from some of the kids from our inclusion as well. Yeah, fantastic.
Wonderful.
Can't beat it.
I did ask him for tears, but he's
No, I can't.
tears.
No, maybe later when I try to get up off the chair, I'd be probably in tears. Yeah, but it's phenomenal. You know, wonderful support from everyone. We've raised a lot of money, over $2,000 so far. Well over $2,000. So everything's been brilliant. But the main thing is that we've spread the word about inclusion football. That it needs to be more. I think the FA of Wales are doing well, focusing on it, and all the clubs in Wales have now got to focus on it because these children deserve to play football. We love it, they love it, but we have to give them an opportunity to play it.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Well, listen, mate, you've done absolutely proud. You've done Wales proud. You've done Margam proud. As have all the boys that have travelled with you. So well done. Well done. A well deserved. You're on the pitch now. Is that one
We're
last
on the
walk?
pitch at half time.
At half time. Wow. Good luck sitting
If I can
down
get
and
up,
then being able to stand up
no.
again at half time.
Yeah.
But no, listen,
But,
enjoy it, mate. Enjoy it because it's wonderful stuff.
Yeah.
So listen, if you do want to give as well, we've got the Just Giving number. It's been on the page all the way through the video. So go there. If you've got a couple of quid to spare, then these guys are a very, very worthy cause. So listen, I hope you really enjoyed the episode. We'll be back in September. Loads of international football. We're getting closer to that big World Cup. But for now, it's time for John and the boys to go, and girls and kids, to go and get a good rest and a bit of food. Enjoy
Thank
it,
you.
John.
Cheers,
Take care,
mate.
mate.
Thank
See you
you.
soon. Bye.
Come on, the Jacks!